Hi everyone, my name is Angel, and if you didn't know me, then you're gonna know me more today. And so basically I'm going to be doing like a Q&A video, and so what that is basically like question and answer, and like since my very first video, I didn't want to do something that was like something like out of the blue, whatever, just because like I really did this just for fun. And I went on social media and just started off with like asking other people if they could just submit me questions so then I could just answer it. I was just really bored, and that was just like inspired me. And I was just like looking at some other person's like YouTube channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to just like do something fun for like once. Like I always wanted to start like a YouTube channel like years back when I was in like high school, but like I never like had like the equipment to do it, whatever. And like one of my friends actually reached out and was like, hey, like I can edit for you and like do everything. And then I was like, you're joking, because like I literally don't do. I was gonna film this on my iPhone 7. Like that's so insane. So yeah, I'll be starting right now. So my first question, I have like a couple, and they're scattered from Instagram. So my first question, let me see. What's the weirdest thing you did as a kid? I have a lot of stuff that I did as a kid. That's just one time. It was like when I was 7 years old. Me and my brother, who was like 2 years younger than me, we were outside in the garage, and you know one of those like toy cars are like electronic, and they move and stuff. Okay, well, so for some reason we decided to give it like a car wash or whatever, and it has like, you can't put water in it. You can't not put water in it, right? Okay, so instead of like driving or whatever, we put it in the garage, and my parents were like all gone, they're like working, whatever. And my babysitter is like a fob, so like she doesn't know what's going on, whatever, and like she's like making food in the kitchen. And so my brother and I decided to get like this bug repellent spray that's like foamy. It's like all white and stuff, and so we sprayed it all over the entire car. And instead of getting towels to wash the entire like Jeep, we used our hands. And so, okay, so we used our entire hands and washed the entire thing. And then, so all of a sudden, like, I don't know, like, I remember like feeling like so much pain, and my hands were like red, like on fire, to the point where I'm like crying, because I'm a kid, and they like, you're not supposed to touch that stuff. And so my dad, I remember, came home and was like yelling at us. He's like, what are you doing? Like, what were you thinking? Blah, blah. And so he was like putting our hands like in the sink, whatever, and was like washing our hands. That's a funny one. Another funny story that I could say is that since my neighbors have like hella cats and stuff, my brother, he's like definitely allergic, right? So he was like 3 at this time, and I'm 5, and I remember we were like going down the hill, and we were like kind of friends with our neighbors because they're like around the same age as us. So we went over there, and their cats were outside because they're outdoor cats, and it's kind of like weird that this happened, but I always wanted like a pet. My parents said no, and so like either like a hamster, and then they said no, right? And then like a cat, no. A dog, cat, no. So we grabbed the cat in the neighbor's lawn, and then I told my brother, so I grabbed it and I was holding it like this, and I told my brother, I was like, just hold this, okay, hold it, and we're gonna go inside. So I put, and the thing is like we didn't know that he was allergic to cats though, because at that time he was only 3 years old, and so I put the cat in his arms, and the cat, like, obviously when a 3-year-old's holding a cat, it's gonna be squirming and stuff and scratching you, because like 3-year-old doesn't know how to freaking hold a cat and stuff. So so he's holding the cat, and he's like, the cat is like scratching his arms like all over, and he's like bleeding, and it's like puffing up, obviously, right? It's like, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So like okay, we can't hold him anymore, so let's go in my house, go in the house. So we opened up the garage, and it's like, and then we open the door, and I'm like, okay, on a count of 3, you just throw him in there, okay? Just throw him in there. So I count of 3, so I'm like pushing the door, because I don't want to hold the door, right? Because I'm like scared that it's gonna scratch me too. But I'm like holding the door. I'm like, okay, you throw it, I'm gonna let go of the door. So that's what I did. So I was like, 1, 2, 3, and then my brother like threw the cat in, and then I like let go of the door, and the cat ran back out, and it went back in the other neighbor's yard. Then a second one is from my roommate. From my roommate, and she submitted today, last minute, and she said, here's a Q&A question. If you could make out with any celebrity for 10 seconds, who would it be? It's a very good one. I would say Shawn Mendes, which is very basic. I met him before, he's really hot, freaking person. Or I would say Cameron from Are You the One? MTV show from season 4. Next question. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? That is disgusting. I hate pineapple. I hate any forms of pineapple. No, I don't like pineapple at all. It's so freaking disgusting. Like, yeah, fruit should not be on freaking pizza. Okay. My next question is from my manager, which is really funny because she voted no on my Q&A Instagram poll. But she said, how or where did you learn to play the piano? I started playing piano when I was 5 years old. I took lessons at Ted Brown for like a few years. But before that, I had like a private piano teacher who was like my mom's like client or something like that. And that's like how we knew her. And so after Ted Brown, I took like a gap or something for like maybe like 3 years. And then after, I basically just got back into it again at Ted Brown, and then it's been like maybe ever since like sophomore year since my last piano lesson. But I just like don't like playing classical music. That's what piano lessons were all about. And whenever I was at like Ted Brown. So, because I'm like the type of person to play by ear and just like play the music I want to listen to. Like not the radio music, but like, you know. The next question. What is your favorite genre of music that you immediately want to listen to? That's a really good question. I feel like if I had to pick one, I'll be like alternative or indie pop. Yeah. I don't really like hardcore country or like rock or emo stuff. Like now I have to retell about my urine story because the freaking footage got deleted. Anyways, but so I did know that I had bladder infection during the time because it was my first time getting it. But remember I was like in class, I needed to go because when you have a bladder infection, you have to go every 15 minutes, and like it hurts when you don't go. So like I gotta go, and so I asked the teacher, and then she said, no, you gotta wait until the next person comes back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. And when you have a bladder infection, you literally have to like go. And so I just like ran out of the classroom, and I ran to the bathroom like across the hallway. And right before the stalls, I literally like couldn't hold it anymore. Like it just dribbled. What's the best thing you've learned or gotten out of college? I would say be independent, just because I feel like in high school I wasn't as like independent as I am now, just because like I always wanted to be around people, and like, you know, I didn't want to do stuff by myself, and like I felt like my parents always babied me in the past, and like I don't know, I think it's just important just for like life skills and stuff, you know. So, and you don't want to hang out with people, like you just need time by yourself, and that's like me. So yeah. Where would you travel right now? Where would you travel right now? I want to go to like well, I'm going to Europe for the second time for spring break, and during the time that I'm going to be there, I'm either going to go to France or Britain, and we get to choose, but like most of my freaking family want to go to France, and I've already been there. It's like, it's really great, but like it's just like there's just a lot of hype in the Eiffel Tower, you know? They just want to see it, and then like what, that's it. So I kind of want to go to Britain. Or like Bora Bora, which is really random, but I like tropical places. Okay, my favorite movie. My favorite movie is 500 Days of Summer. It's a really good movie. It's like an indie movie kind of. It's like kind of like sad, but like it's like kind of realistic. I don't know. I like movies like those, so that's the last question.
Yeah, we're done.
We have to be like bye.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, hasta la vista.
How does
Ciao,
Hannah do it?
ciao.
How
do you say Korean? How do you say bye in Korean? How do you say other freaking languages?
안녕.
안녕, Kegas. No.
Say 안녕.
Yeah, it's like the informal one.
Yeah,
How do you
just
say-
goodbye.
Goodbye. No.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Adios.
I already say that.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios, muchachos. Thank you for watching my video. This is gonna be so boring.